Hello. Welcome to the Bardic Inspiration Network. It is another exciting fun and we are live with Power Rangers Solar City. My name is Anne. This is my channel. I play Avery, the Silver Ranger. And let's go around the table for some introductions real quick. Talon, over to you. Okay, you were muted, but try that again.
Oh, sorry. Hi. Sorry. I'm Talon. I play Fenrir, and I'm the Red Ranger for this team.
Excellent. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Minnie, please introduce yourself and your character.
Hey everybody, my name is Minnie, and I am playing Mariana Trench, and I am the Obsidian Ranger.
Cool. And LK, please introduce yourself and your character.
Yep. Hi, I'm LK, and I'm playing Gabriel Evans. Evans? Yeah, Evans. I am the Ink.
Oh, yes.
Right, and
Yep.
me now. Hi, I'm Ben, and I am Draculord, and all the other villains and not villains, allies. I think you might call them. I'm the GM, and we can probably get started. I think everybody's introduced themselves, and I should start recapping. So, welcome to Power Rangers Solar City. Previously on Power Rangers Solar City, where to start? Yeah, I guess going back in time, 12,000 years ago, an ancient city crashed on Earth and sank to the bottom of the ocean. This is the Solar City, also known as Atlantis. Just 1 year ago, a group known as the Atlantis Initiative rediscovered this city, managed to get the power back online with the aid of a group of merfolk, led by Queen Marina and formerly King Neptune. And they were a great help in restoring systems and discovering some of the past of this ancient city. And now the Atlantis Initiative has set up a base there. They've raised the city to the surface, and our heroes have made their way there. Mariana Trench has recently arrived on a helicopter. Yep. And has a new job as an archivist for the for the initiative. We've got Gabriel Evans, who is the adopted son of Dr. Evans, who is the lead scientist for the initiative, and they've been doing some sciencey stuff, including the invention of a new communicator that allows for communication using the morphing grid itself, which the Solar City is tied into. And we've got Fenrir, who's a Syrian, which is a giant dog alien thing from, well, not giant, I guess, a reasonably sized dog alien thing from SPD. And we've got Avery, who is a skateboarding kid with a cap on that's backwards. And she recently found a hammer that it turns out can talk and is called Carcharodon, and it has some kind of connection to the morphing grid. While some experiments were happening, there was a connection to the morphing grid being discovered. Strange things started happening in the city. First, Fenrir and Morrow, one of the merfolk in the city, were sent over to investigate a strange signal that had been showing up in the Blue Spire. There were 6 spires around the city, excluding the central spire, and each of them has a different color. And the Blue Spire had been showing some strange readings. Yeah, and when they got there, they discovered ADIRA, the Automated Defense Intelligence for Ranger Assistance, Assessment, and Activation, who told them that the city was under attack. The city came under attack from a spaceship with some kind of aliens inside, a guy who later introduced himself as Draculord, and now our various heroes have converged back in Adira's chamber, where they have all been given these USB drives to go into their communicators that will give them the power to change into Power Rangers. So that's the summary. Maybe we could have made that shorter, but we're gonna go back to just where we left off, which is the 5 of you rushing downstairs into the base ground floor of the Blue Spire, where there's a series of consoles, ancient alien consoles, some with kind of intricate carvings in them, some with more traditional buttons and flashing lights. And there's a blue column in the middle that's glowing now, even though it wasn't a few hours ago. It was glowing a lot dimmer, but now it's much brighter. And standing in front of it is a large creature, taller than all of you, but not by too much, but still like towering like 8 feet, 9 feet, I guess. So tall, with winged bat wings for ears, basically, leathery skin, giant fangs, and dark red eyes. And he says, "I am Draculord, and I am your doom." So, how are people responding, I guess? He laughs maniacally.
So, GM, above game, real quick.
Yes.
Do I know what Gabriel does for a living?
What Gabriel does. Yeah,
No.
you know he. Or so.
By the Atlantis Initiative, right? Correct?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, you both work in the Atlantis Initiative, so you know.
So if
that
you know what
Gabriel
Avery does,
and
you know what Gabe.
Yeah, you know what
Gabriel
Avery does, which doesn't have a job description.
No, she's a researcher technically.
Ah.
That's the job description.
Technically.
She just doesn't show up to 50% of her job.
Yeah.
She's just particularly interested in one particular line of research, which is skateboards.
But
Gabriel
maybe.
works under his father in the research department.
Okay. So, I would just speak off to the side. Just Gabriel, you and Merle, try to assist to say hi with We've gained defenses back online.
If I have, sorry.
Do you want to say that in front of the class?
Avery just says, "Forget that," and she charges towards Draculord with Carcharodon, and then she goes, "I know we just met, but sorry," and she launches. She swings Carcharodon at Draculord.
Okay, let's. Yeah, actually, I probably should have just had you roll initiative.
Okay.
But we can roll initiative now.
Great. Okay.
Oh,
Cool,
good.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I think we wanted to be strategic, but
That's
there is
tough.
no strategy, and when Avery is involved,
Strategy never
mean-
matter.
never.
Chaos.
Strategy, good plan.
What are
Draculor
plans?
does not want you to do strategy.
Nope. Do I have? I should probably pull up my sheet. That would help.
Yeah,
Was
let's
that a-
keep track of initiative.
Yeah.
Cool. I definitely did not mean to yeet that coin across my desk. Okay.
Right, so what do we got?
14.
Got 14 initiative from Fenrir.
I have a
got
9.
initiatives for bad guys. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet.
Oh no.
Got a 9 from Ariana.
Mhm.
Oh, right. 15 for Gabriel.
Come on. My computer is being slow. I feel bad. Okay, wait. Where is it? I also rolled a 15.
I'll give Avery an edge, not an edge, just an upshift because she's being active and swift.
Okay. 16.
Okay. So then that does let Avery go first.
Excellent. I would like. Okay, so here's what I didn't do. I didn't do a properly statted version for the tiny version of Carcharodon. So I'm just gonna.
Right. Yeah.
It
I'd
would probably.
assume-
It would probably do less damage, correct? I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna
Probably just a 1 damage hammer.
1 damage hammer. Got it. So
Yeah,
I
so
am
it does-
going.
So for note, unarmed attacks will deal stun damage, which basically makes the person lose their next movement, and if they have stun damage equal to their health, they'll be defeated. So you can still defeat people just by punching them, but since you've got a hammer, this will deal 1 blunt damage, which is proper damage, and will get subtracted from their health.
Cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and go ham on this guy. What is my target number, by the way? What is his
Right, so
toughness, I guess?
already failing with stuff. Yeah, probably it'll be toughness, which will be 13, because
Oh,
it's toughness by default unless you choose to evade, right?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or
Guess
there's
what?
reasons not to do toughness.
Guess what? I rolled a
12.
14.
Oh, 14. Excellent. So yeah, you can just straight up hit this guy.
And then, like, she takes the swing at Draculord and stops, like, melee, like, right in front of him and says, "Hey, how are we doing, Carcharodon? You okay?" She just checks in with the hammer, like, I know it just, you know.
Yeah. He's like, oh hell yeah. Let's do this. I mean I may now have a concussion, but I think I'm good.
Amazing.
And
Yeah, that's
Draculord
me.
is slightly stunned by this sudden approach, and he staggers backwards towards the command console. and to not command console, the central column. Yeah, that's what he does. That's all he does in response. So then Gabriel is next.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a give a double take in every direction and make sure that they're okay, and then I'm gonna run to the console and try and see if I can make head of or tails of this technology thing.
Okay, so make a technology roll.
Okay.
Let's say you presumably Adira will ask, "What is your requirement? What function may I serve?"
Can we try turning on the defenses?
Defenses have been turned on.
Oh,
You
good.
are the defenses.
We are the
Defense weapons turrets are offline and inoperable, will not be restorable for some time. Shields are not localized. Advanced combat drones are similarly inoperable.
Right, I should roll before continuing.
Yeah.
Do I get an does my expertise apply?
Yes, it would do.
Yeah, 17. Just is going to try and understand things first before asking something of what's her name again?
Adira,
Adira.
the
Right.
automated defense intelligence for ranger assistance, assessment, and activation, which I'm going to say every time you ask what her name is.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. So he just looks over. Okay. Doesn't look like there's anything else that you can help us with, Adira?
Proximity, not on a grand scale, and then there's a kind of like there's a pause, almost like there's a smirk. But I can be of some assistance, and the energy core at the center that Draculord has kind of fallen up and rested against as he's been knocked backwards by Tarkaradon and Avery jolts with electricity, and he's then thrown forward again, and he'll go yeah, and take another point of damage.
Oh.
Is that acceptable?
That's, yes, very acceptable. Excellent job, Adira.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I assume that's my turn because I did
Yep.
a lot. Yep.
Yeah. As for people's information, on your turn, you get a number of actions equal to your speed. One of them is a move action, one of them is a standard action for punching and stuff, and the rest are all free actions. You can use free actions to do things like run a little bit further or take aim if you don't move, stuff like that. Standard actions is your punching, moving actions is your moving, etc., etc. And next up is Fenrir.
Okay. So if I do the morphine, I don't have another standard action. Is that correct?
I'm going to have to remind myself how morphing works because I think you can morph. No,
It says
I'm
it
not
as a
sure
standard.
you can morph for free. It's a standard action, yeah.
So I wouldn't have another. I wouldn't have. So I
No,
wouldn't.
yeah, that would be your turn. in this
Mhm.
case.
Okay. Then I will pull my revolver. If I shoot, am I at risk of shooting the core?
Slight risk, but also that would be like critical failure kind of stuff. You're generally a good shot. That's why they let you have this gun. You can probably, if
Sure.
you're unlucky, you'll hit the core. It's not a
Uh,
terrible risk.
Okay. Then I'm gonna take a shot.
So yeah,
I do have specialization in energy weapons, so it's all my dice. 13.
13.
range
13.
range attacks go against evasion, by the way.
Ranged attacks go against evasion, then it just misses.
Oh.
Okay. I'm just gonna move right up into melee. No, I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay.
I-
He swerves out of the way with surprising grace and agility, and he like the shot hits the wall behind the column in the center. You kind of have to aim off slightly off to the side so that it goes past if it misses, which it does. And as he darts out of the way, he calls out, "This is not a fair fight! I summon the power of the Shaderons!" And the lights flicker, and like has happened to you before, they flicker, then they go off, and then they come back on. And when it does, actually, this time it's slightly different. Previously, it's been a shadow on the floor emerging into a cloud of gas and spreading out into humanoid shapes. This time, just the humanoid shapes appear. They're just there in the middle of the in the middle of the room. There's 5 of them, and they are a kind of look like someone in a green screen suit with grey and black kind of shaded cloudy forms and these bright red eyes and the area around their eyes which is all red, and they will now do their things.
Great. Okay.
So that's their turn. Draculord still gets a turn, but the Shadow Ones are getting summoned on their turn. And they will. Yeah, okay, I have their stats somewhere. Good. Okay, they will just go and get attacking people. So we've got Avery has charged up to the to Draculord. So I think one will go after her. We'll say 2 go after. Let's just 1 goes after each of you, including Mo.
Okay.
So let's just roll some dice. They're not the strongest fighters, but they can still fight. So going in an order, Avery first. Going to be against
a
toughness.
15.
They pulls out like a dagger from its kind of inside itself, which has a shadowy blade. That's a 21. So
Is
and
it a
actually
crit?
that's a 4 on the edge on the skill die. So that will make it a crit, won't it?
Okay. You can do an alt
That's-
effect, or
It
you
will-
can do double damage.
It'll do double damage. So that's 2 points of damage.
Oof.
To
Okay.
that. Let's move on around the board. Gabriel, that's a 13. Does a 13 hit your toughness, presumably?
Uh, can't I
One
evade?
more. So
Oh yeah. Doesn't the Pink Ranger have a thing? Hold
At
on.
this level?
I'm just
Uh,
hold on.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
still-
you can evade, right?
Yeah.
Oh
I-
yeah, yes. If you can choose to evade,
Yeah.
yes, you can choose a hit that would go against toughness. You can choose to try and dodge, and evade
Yeah.
it instead.
I'm gonna dodge using my evasion
Okay, and
because then it doesn't hit.
okay, then it
Ah!
doesn't hit. It lunges towards you with its own dagger that seems to have kind of materialized out of thin air, and it stabs down towards the console, but misses. Doesn't hit the console, just kind of stabs forwards towards you and stumbles over onto where the console is. Still with one's going to go after Mo and is going to. Well, that's a 23. So that will definitely hit Mo, and yeah, plunge a blade into him, and he'll stagger. They'll stagger back a couple of steps and fall to the ground. Still all right, but injured.
Oh, not like this.
And then so Mariana, that's a 10 against you, which presumably won't beat any of your defenses,
No, I'm a 14.
and a 9 on Fenrir, which doesn't beat any of Fenrir's defenses.
Thank goodness, thank goodness, because I already took one. I took one even before we started combat.
Oh right, yes, you did. Thank you for reminding me of that. So yeah, that's them done. Actually, I should have had one of them do something more interesting, but no, they've all just attacked with the daggers. Next up is Mariana. You've got one
Perfect.
on you. Then there's Draculord, and then there's 4 other Shadowons.
Okay. I'm going to take on the one that just tried to take a slice out of me.
Yep.
And she's kind of going to go into like a kickboxing stance and is going to get ready to kick. And as she's getting ready to like do a leg sweep, she's just out loud is like, I cannot believe that there's a ball here that's not in the Philippines. This is insane. And then is going to do a kick.
These things are probably going to try and evade.
Okay. That is a 17 of might.
That they will not evade. You will hit them.
Keep in mind, we can use story points to add 5 to our defenses if you need to. So
You would have to call that before the result of the attack, but yes.
And
There's a
does
bunch of
that
stuff you can
that
do.
last for the round, right, or just for the attack?
I think it lasts for the round, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But also, we get 1 story point per player in the team pool per
Yes.
session.
Okay. So you've got 4 story points, I guess,
Mhm.
because Nilsson isn't here. So that's You kick this shadow creature, and it flies backwards, and when it hits the wall, just that bursts into the same kind of shadowy mist that it formed from. But in this case, it doesn't turn back into shadow or anything. It just kind of, like, I guess, like dry ice, like scatters out and spreads, and then it's just gone. So it's like it's defeated from what you can tell. It doesn't look like it's coming
Okay.
back.
Again, out loud, Mariana says, good to note. Balls can create shadow creatures. Okay, fantastic. We're learning so much on our first day.
Perfect.
I do not understand these Earth references, but I have references of my own.
Oh,
And
no.
he will like I do. I have an understanding of legal concepts. For example, the idea of assault and battery. And he turns into a bat and flies through. It's going to be Mariana because you're the one who did something. and flies through. Doesn't harm you as a bat. The bat just passes spectrally through you, and he turns around on the other side, and his mouth kind of turns comically large, and the giant teeth kind of try to bite down on your shoulder. And he rolls some dice. So he's going to attack your toughness. Does a 12 hit?
It does not.
Okay, so he sneaks up behind you, and then goes to attack, but you slide out of the way, and he kind of staggers forward a couple steps as you duck to the side.
Perfect. I duck. He goes to bite. I duck to the side, and I'm like, not unless you buy me dinner.
I cannot afford that. My salary is very poor. I did not get much inheritance from my noble fathers. And he will. That's him done. Morrow is probably going to recover, and should we? This is a tough fight. Should we bring out the big guns? Should we morph? And that'll be his turn, just to stagger back and recover.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I don't even know.
So rules wise, I've said various things about what's necessary in order to morph. You've got your communicators, you've got a USB drive, you need to insert the USB drive in the communicators, you need to enter a 3-button code, and you need to say something out loud. I'm assuming I've been deliberately non-specific with what 3 numbers you need to enter to do the thing. You've either been told, or it's unique for each of you and is written on your USB drives or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can all morph. You just have to shout something out loud that's suitably heroic. And that takes your action to do.
I want to clarify something.
Yep.
Is there? Because I know you said there wasn't any.
No
Does
buttons.
Carcharodon have buttons to press to do numbers?
You're cool. I think there's definitely the option of him having a flip phone style thing in the handle of the hammer.
It just flips out.
Or you can just speak, and he's probably smart enough to understand.
Okay.
That he doesn't necessarily need any button presses.
So the buttons are not. So Carcharodon doesn't need buttons, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a smart boy.
Smart boy. He's smarter than everyone on this team right now, I think. He's maxed out. Okay,
Well, he's certainly got more experience.
He's got 12,000 years on us. Okay. Whose turn is it anyway? Is it mine?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Going back to the top.
Sweet. So, Draculord has moved away from me, correct?
Yes, he's now next to Mariana.
How far away? I guess.
It's a small room within movement distance, around movement for all of you. It's 30 feet from long end to long end, probably.
I'm gonna point Carcharodon at Draculord, and I'm gonna say, "Get ready to pay for your bad puns and your and your awful attacks." And then I'm gonna yell out, "Power of the ancient shark, activate!" and raise up Carcharodon over my head, and spend a standard action to activate my morph sequence.
Okay. You take the USB thing that you got from, I think, Morrow, who got it from Adira.
Yeah.
You stick that into the hammer, and you raise that into the sky, and you point it at him, and you say the thing you just said, and yeah. So the hammer glows with light, kind of silvery light. It lifts. Carcharodon kind of seems to pull out of your hands and lifts up and turns to face you, kind of with the two red lights that kind of act as his eyes. And a scanning beam emerges out of them and kind of goes up from your head to toe and like goes down. And then as it goes back up, along with it as it rises up is a suit of, in your case, silver that rises up to cover that until you've got a helmet with the visor open. Of course, I'm thinking Lightspeed Rescue style with a big like whole face thing, and something from the other end that's not scanning you. I guess out of the top of the hammer emerges a giant spectral shark, a hammerhead shark, that flies up towards like Draculord and kind of towards the screen, and then turns around, loops back around you, and rises up behind you, and it's the silhouette of this shark is displayed. It kind of merges with you, and the silhouette of the shark is displayed across your uniform in a kind of grey, black color, probably. And then the visor slams shut, and you are fully morphed.
Sweet. I'm gonna
Woo!
press the
First
button
morph
on
of
my.
the game.
Yeah,
Yeah. Avery.
the first successful one.
There's a button on your character sheet that will give you your defenses for when you morph.
Yeah.
When it says it, the button that says it's morphin' time, that's the button you want to push.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
that's my turn.
Your action.
Actually, can I move up to Draculord? I can't attack, but can I just?
Yes, you can move. Yeah.
I'm gonna back Mariana up because that just seems like a bad time over there.
Yeah,
It's a bad first date.
You hear some shouting, and then there's a light fills the room, and then you look over your shoulder, and there's a silver-clad ranger standing there that speaks with Avery's voice, if it does speak.
Yeah. Like.
So, and then it is next up is Fenrir. Oh no, Gabriel. Sorry.
Gabriel. Yeah.
I skipped a number.
Okay. Gabriel is gonna look to the side, look at Avery, and murmur like, show off. He's gonna open his communicator, grab the USB, and like, okay, let's go. Insert USB, input code 038, and he's gonna say like, what he's gonna say? Yeah, something like this. He's just gonna yell like, let's save the day, shall we? And start to morph.
Okay. So in some similar regards, the communicator kind of folds itself back shut out of its flip form mode and lifts kind of out of your hand in front of you. It scans you with a scanning beam that as it goes down and then comes up again, you get a pink suit with an open faceplate, and a pink dolphin spirit launches out of the communicator, flies around, and then imposes a white dolphin silhouette on your suit. And then the faceplate slams shut.
Ooh.
Adira from the console next to you, like, I trust you understand what was meant by defense systems. This should be adequate.
Yeah, trust trust 2 people if who knows what they're doing. 3 people who have no idea what they're doing to save the day. That's gonna work just fine.
There are few better options.
I'll trust your word.
And you would not like most of them. And moving on, we now get Fenrir.
Muted again.
I pull out my drive, which has a symbol of an orca on it, and I slam it into my revolver. Just go. Power of the orca, and I aim it, and I shoot. I pull the trigger, and out comes a spectral orca.
Yep. And as the orca flies out and around you, the gun, like out of the back, the scanning beam kind of lifts slightly out of your hand, and out of the back, the scanning beam goes down you and then up again. Clad all in red, with, in this case, the faceplate has to work differently because you've got a great big snout, but it still kind of closes out around your snout, and in this case, it's slightly more formed like a dog's head,
It
but
has
still with the same black faceplate.
but with it has the white markings around the eyes of a traditional orca.
Right. Yes. Because you do. Yeah.
And has tail, has 2 longer, sort of trench coat like tails coming down his suit as well.
Okay. Yeah. The silhouette of an orca goes across your chest, and you know, holding now the weapon jumps back to your hand. For going back, but the one detail I forgot on all of you, for Gabriel, the communicator kind of just doesn't quite vanish, but it vanishes and then reappears on your on a belt on your side.
Okay.
And for Avery, your hammer descends kind of back down after lifting out of your hands, and it's much larger now. Like it kind of drops out of the sky almost. Like it gets raised up, lifts into the air. The camera moves to watch the whole suit thing happen, and then it kind of just drops in from off screen as a giant 2-handed hammer with a hammerhead shark head, just concavidon but bigger. It's a little surprising, but it works. And other than that, all the same stuff happens. Fenrir, are you doing anything else with your movements, or?
I am moving in front of Muro.
Yeah, you can like push Muro back and get between Muro and the Shadow one that's attacking him.
Yeah, and that's it for me.
Okay, so the Shadow ones will go. You've now got 3 scary people. So I think they'll all assume that they're Mariana and is being taken care of by Draculord probably, and that they're fighting. So they're going to run off, and the 4 survivors will, I think, going to roll a dice. They don't want to be mean, well, but and that will be Gabriel. That 2 of them go after Gabriel, and 1 of them each go after the others of you. So against Avery, the big scary woman with the hammer, a 10 will miss. So actually, of note also, you are morphed, which means your toughness gets a boost. That's somewhere between like +2 and +5, depending on what kind of armor you've got and what spectrum.
I think heavy is +4, and the Red Ranger has heavy.
Okay. Yeah.
Mine's only a
The
plus
other
2.
ones are like plus.
Yeah, my armor is not properly set up, so I
Yeah,
don't-
you just need to add, when you edit it
Hopefully,
below your
just
strength, you just add your armor bonus, which for you I think is a 1.
Okay.
yeah, because you've got light armor from the Pink
Ranger.
Ranger.
Pink Rangers just don't get hit.
Ideally, yeah. Which is
That's-
bad luck that there's 2 of them trying to hit you now.
Oh no.
So 15. Does 15 hit against toughness or evasion?
15.
Yeah.
Remind me. Which one wins in ties?
I win. The attack wins.
Hits.
I think. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
If you hit in ties, then I get hit.
You can use a story point to boost your defense by 1.
Yes, that's the thing you can do.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll let you, because it's the thing we keep forgetting. If you want to, you can do that. That'll apply for this attack
Before,
retroactively
right.
and the next one as well.
And just trying to. For some reason, it's not changing my toughness, but that's okay. I'll look at it later.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, so if everyone is okay with me using a
Yeah.
story
right,
point.
did
Okay, so we go down to 3, and I got a +1, so I actually hit.
Right. So, yeah. What's your evasion at now? Or your toughness?
16.
16. Okay. I get a 16. So,
Nice.
one more comes at you with the dagger, and yeah, it goes to stab you, and
Ah,
the shadowy dagger connects, and you feel a sharp, like, scratch. Or no, actually, you wouldn't, because you're morphed. So there's just like a spark of energy that goes across you as you, like, sparks fly out from your suit as you stagger backwards a couple steps
uh,
from the impact.
uh,
The thing kind of like cackles.
at least they had the courtesy to wait for me to morph.
Yeah, it's you know, when you start shouting things and being very showy, it tends to make things, give you a pause, let you do your fancy stuff. They don't want to show you up. And then one more going after Fenrir, which I think, yes, that's a 16, which, so I should have given you a chance to do story point stuff if you want to do, but it's a 16.
Nope, that's a 19.
Oh,
19.
right, because you've got an incredibly high toughness, yeah, because you get +4 to it from being morphed.
Mm.
And yeah, all right, so that's all of them. So 1 damage to Gabriel, and the rest glance away harmlessly. Next up is Mariana.
All right. I think seeing everyone go into morphing, she looks down at the USB that Fenrir gave her, sees the number 808 on it, and then plugs it into her communicator, dials it, and holds her arm up and says, "By the illustrious, mysterious seas," and then transforms.
Okay, so yeah, similar stuff to before. Communicator raises up, scanning beam comes out, a blank obsidian color suit comes up with probably like a silver visor or something that comes across, so it's not all black. And in this case, emerging from the front of the communicator is the spirit of a black mantis shrimp, but kind of like it's a smaller version of its full size in this case, but like it's much larger than a normal mantis shrimp. But also, all of your other examples have been smaller than normal animals. So this is maybe a very large shrimp, and it flies out kind of I don't know how shrimp swim, but it swims around the air and comes back up, and you get a boxing kind of mantis shrimp silhouette on your suit.
Nice. Awesome. She does a fancy pose with fists. And is Avery, are you beside me, or are you kind of like flanking Dracula? You're muted.
Muted.
Okay, two things. I am, in fact, flanking Draculord with you.
Awesome.
Also, secondly, you can summon your power weapon as a free action.
Yes, that's the thing all
Ooh.
of you can do.
Awesome. Then I think since I have
I just happen to already have my power weapon with me, so,
right. Yeah,
Oh,
okay. I
cool.
think since I've morphed, I will also summon my Solar Buster Tonfa.
All right. You're gonna have to tell me what that looks like because I haven't got a thing prepared for how that gets summoned.
I think she kind of has her fists up, does a couple of like air punches, and then slams her fists together, and then like shimmery light appears on the sides of both of her arms, and then bladed Tonfa come up, and she's holding them, and on the actual fists of where she's holding the stick, it's actually also covered knuckles. So she almost has like Knuckle Buster Tonfa.
Nice. Yeah. Very nice. That's Adira will. Oh, you have excellent. You have accessed power weapon capabilities.
Ooh,
This
okay.
This was unexpected.
I get that a lot.
Really? How were you
I'm-
expecting for us to fight?
Power weapon capabilities were not programmed into my database. They were not a part of the USB drive. And another voice will come over the radio and yes, sorry, that will be my doing. Dr. Evans says, we had these things lying about. You should be able to access them through the link in the morphing grid. We were just kind of trying some stuff out. Looks like it's working well. Fenrir, I'm glad yours is performing. And the rest of you should all have your own variants. Good luck! And he'll stop talking.
Thanks, Dad.
I think, Dracula was like, oh, terrifying, but not as terrifying as me! And he'll make another attack. Probably again with his evil, with his bite. I think this time he doesn't turn into a bat. Does a 14 hit your toughness or evasion? Your toughness is going to get, I think, a +2 boost from being the Black Ranger.
Yes. My sheet is also not working, but yes, I do get a +2 to it, so does not hit me with my toughness of 16.
Okay, so that will miss again. I think in this case you probably like catch his fangs on the tonfa and like spin it round to knock his head aside. Because, oh, my teeth! Oh, dental care is very expensive.
If you can't afford a date, you really can't afford that either, buddy.
All right. Yeah. So then that's him done, and Morrow will go. Well, if you can't beat them, join them, and he'll call out. He'll he'll insert the USB drive, start to call out something, and then there's a charge of lightning from his communicator that crackles around, like sparks off against the floor and the ceiling, and then he vanishes. And there's this kind of like the crackling of electricity has this faint like you can hear it slightly afterwards, and it almost sounds like a laugh. So
Wait, can
back
that happen? She says to Adira.
That was unexpected. There has been an error in the system. This will need to be corrected. The rest of you should be fine.
You really should take a look at these things before people start morphing at Europe.
When you did ask for the expedient emergency protocols, I did offer you the slower, more careful route.
Look, we didn't have time. It's fine.
You can just
In the aim of expediency, certain sacrifices must sometimes be made.
you can see Avery kind of fidgeting where she's standing and ready to swing.
Yeah, Avery, you can swing.
Less talking, please, and then she will attack Draculord with her her buddy Carcharodon.
But all I do is talk.
Oh my god. That is a 15?
15 will hit him.
It's like, and then she will say,
I think he tries to shift out of the way, and like you see him almost actually begin to, like, his form kind of condenses into that of a bat, and as he's turning and moving to the side, you smack him, and he flies off to the side and regains his normal form.
So, Avery, in response to Dracula, says, Carcharodon talks too, but at least he's useful. And then she swings the hammer kind of almost like baseball bat style and like slams the bat form into the nearest wall. And that's
Yeah, what's the matter, buddy? You got a toothache?
that's 2 blunt damage.
Actually, no. There's the better one-liner is, he goes, "Yes, stop! It's hammer time."
Yes.
Um,
Oh my god,
right,
I'm
so
dying.
it's two damage, isn't it?
Yeah, it's two blunt damage.
Hey. Okay, 2 more damage. He's looking very badly injured. He is not happy. He's still going, but he's on the floor now. He's like clutching his mouth. You think he might have cracked a tooth.
I have 2 questions. Number 1,
Yep.
when I basically like smashed him against the wall, how much distance did he travel? Like 5 feet, 10 feet?
Probably like 5 feet.
Okay.
Like he kind of flies off, like, kind of metaphorically, but presumably I like saying things fly around. Mechanically, he's staying in the same space, so that probably means that he kind of staggers back up to his feet maybe and gets back into the same position or something like that. Or he just kind of drops.
Okay, so he didn't get that far away. Follow-up question. Did he shift back into Draculoid form, or is he still just a puny bat?
No, you interrupted him while he was in bat form. While he was turning into bat form.
So I have several free actions that I have not used. I would like to use one of my free actions. How many of them do I have? I have 3 of them. I'm going to use one of my free actions to move 5 feet and get in his face.
Okay.
And I'm just going to say, and I'm going to say, I think the fight's over now. And then she'll just look at everyone else. I didn't finish you, but they're going to do it. So good luck with that. And she just stands there, kind of make sure he doesn't get away.
Okay, Gabriel gets to go. I think
Mhm.
you've got 2 Shaderons on you.
Yeah. Gabriel is gonna kind of look and feel, and he kind of makes a upwards movement like this, like he's throwing something up, and then it suddenly appears. A boomerang suddenly appears, and as it falls, he catches it again. He looks at his power weapon. That looks like the beak of a dolphin, but separated and kind of weirdly
Yeah.
formed, and has kind of little indentations. It's very fancy looking, I'm sure. uh,
And what are you going to do with
yes,
it?
I guess it's boomerang time. And he's going to use a personal power.
Oh,
Personal powers to activate volley,
which lets you do an extra shot, basically.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for now, it's just one extra, but this is gonna be fun. So he looks at the bat and he goes, "Hey Betsy, catch!" And he throws the boomerang, and
Okay.
it first goes around him like it's not aiming for him because it's going for one of the uh,
The Shaderons.
shadowy things.
Yep. Okay, make your attack rolls. First, presumably on the Shadow, and then on
Mhm.
Draculord.
Yeah, and I have a specialization with my power weapon.
Alright.
What's the difficulty?
For the minions, it will be 13.
Okay. Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
It's not a crit, but it hits. Yeah. So the boomerang goes around the bat and hits the shadow in the back of the head.
Yeah. It's like, "Ah!" And it crushes, gets knocked down, and as it hits the floor, it scatters into a cloud of shadow that then dissipates. One more down. The 2 that are like right up next to you that are attacking you kind of jump back as you throw the thing, but obviously it doesn't hit either of them. It curves around, hits the 3rd one, and then comes back towards Draculord. And
Yeah. The boomerang somehow doesn't stop. It
Yep.
keeps going. What's the difficulty for him? 15, 16, 17? How much is it for
it's just 14
14? Okay.
is evasion.
16. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
16 will hit.
it's not a crit because the
No.
D2 isn't
Yes,
doesn't
it's
count,
the 2
so.
that got it.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah. And then it goes back for the bat.
oh, you are very poor, eh? Oh, meow. And he strikes him in the back of the head just as he's getting back up from being knocked down, and then knocks him down again. And he hits the ground, and he wails in. You can see it looks like you've beaten him, sort of. His form shakes, and like as he's trying to get back up a second time, it's like he's flickering, like there's a buildup of energy inside him, like he's about to explode almost. And he goes, "No, no, I won't be defeated this easily. I'll be bat. And he transforms into a bat and flies off through the corridor and out the door and runs away. You've beaten him, but he might be back.
He might be bad.
He might be bat. Well, he definitely is bat, but he might be back.
Ah, God, he really drives me bats.
Mm, So there's still two like random shade minions on Gabriel.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Ben,
guys
but
should
if you
help with
if
that.
you want to
Yeah.
try and take them down, you can do. I think if you do nothing, I'll call the fight here.
I don't know whose turn is it because
It will be Fenris, I think. So your
because
choice whether you want to just try and just scare them off / let them run away,
Yeah.
or if you want to try and take them down.
I don't have any ranks in intimidation, so
Avery would probably hit them. So if
Yeah.
y'all just go back around and it's Avery's turn
no.
again, she will hit someone.
is there any
Yeah.
on? Is there
Yeah.
any on? Is there any on Gabriel at that point?
Yeah,
True.
there's 2 on Gabriel.
Two of them. I
Alright.
didn't hit either of
So-
them. I'm a two shotter. I
So
can't help
you
myself.
see as well, I'm gonna do melee attack.
Ooh.
Technically, my martial arts. So as
Right,
he
yes. Do you want to do your? Well, I guess it doesn't make a difference if you do your power weapon thing because they've only got 1 health.
yeah,
Go ahead.
but yeah. Let me roll that first. See how it goes.
Your power strike.
That is a 21 to hit.
Yep, 21 hits.
For one.
Most
And
definitely.
as he does, his drive ejects from his revolver, and you see as he catches it and slots it into his left arm, as there's a USB, as there's a port on his arm, and the arm turns into a chainsaw blade. As
But
he,
then shreds this shadow and just like drives straight through its chest and then revs and the entire thing just like starts vibrating apart at the seams and scatters off to the side. There's one
Yep.
more left.
that's all I can do at that point.
Mariana's turn. Like, just as you go to do this, like the 2 shader ones kind of turn to look at each other like, what have we got ourselves into, kind of thing. Like, no expressions on their faces, but just like a.
I think Mariana's gonna like
and,
move.
And one of
forward,
them watches as the other just turns into a cloud of dust.
pauses right before the one that's left. Could join your friend. It's gonna use intimidation.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah, make an intimidatey roll.
That is 16.
Let's see how.
I think that would be like against
Probably
their
attack against cleverness or willpower.
cleverness. Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are very not clever and not all that willful. So he will just go "Rrr," and like just the other ones will scatter into shadow. He just like books it and like his legs spin around like a cartoon character, almost just running on the spot, and then he dashes off through the door.
Amazing.
After the Dracula's bat form.
I think she like dissipates the tonfa and is like, I hope he does well with his life.
Avery's like the part of the helmet that can open opens and says, I mean, he probably had really shitty working conditions.
Says Adira.
Anyway, yeah, and then Avery will look at Cargarodon and say, "Oh, this is new. I didn't know you could get bigger.
Yeah, I kind of forgot I could do that as well until just now. So
So the thing that I put in your handle, the drive, does that
yes,
help with your memory?
yes and no. I kind of said that I was missing a half. I was missing things. That's filled in the gap, but my memory's still a bit foggy, and I'm not like I don't think the data was as pure and uncorrupted as I was hoping for. Like this part of me has also been sitting around for 12,000 years just in a computer bank somewhere. So he's also not doing great. But now we're together again and I'm still doing okay. So memories iffy, rough ideas, missing some details. I can answer any questions you've got. Hopefully I can provide some insight.
I find it like mechanically interesting that there's no like toughness on Carcharodon, because like Avery's just examining Carcharodon like, oh, is there any scuffs? Like, are you injured? Because now this weapon has sentience, so she's like, wait a minute, I care about what happens to this weapon now. So she's like,
Adira,
No,
Adira, what's the status of the city?
the city is currently secure. There are still the Shaderon creatures and their master are still on the loose, but they are for the moment contained. Stage 2 emergency defense protocols can commence, and the city begins to shake. There's a rumble in the ground. Commander Thorpe will appear on your communicators. What's going on over there? You probably know the whole city's shaking.
The AI has activated what's called level 2 defense protocols. And I kind of looked at Gabriel. Do you
Did
know
you
what that is?
lose?
No. That's been
Then-
eliminated.
Commander,
And why does it
our
need level 2 defense protocols?
our opponent.
Yeah, the floor's rumbling. You start to feel like the city rises from we'll cut away to kind of a shot from the outside of the city, and it's a great glass, well, like translucent energy dome around this city that the lower levels are flooded, but even then it's still sitting on top of the waves, and though the sea beneath it is calm, the city starts shaking and it starts rising above the water, up into the sky. Adir will voice from a voice from like a background person say, "Commander, gravity engines are coming online. Looks like the city's taking off. I can see that. Why? Right, defense protocols. Sure, that makes as much sense as anything else around here.
Commander, where is your location? I
We're in the
will come out and meet you.
we're in the command center in the central spire.
Commander.
Yes.
Okay. The creature we were fighting got away. You should probably know it's far from over.
All right, thank you. We'll.
Quick question
I
above
guess
game. Are
that's our
we?
secondary concern now.
Quick question above game. Are we all still morphed? Faces still covered?
Mine
You
was
can
open.
you can demorph if you want to. I don't know if you'd know how, but you can probably take a guess.
Probably.
It's up to you. There's no there's no need to worry about concealing your identity or anything like that, because from the sounds of it, Dr. Evans has been working on something like this, and that's how he sent you the power weapons. and Commander Thorpe
Like-
be cued in with what he's doing.
It's almost like the Atlantis Initiative had some idea about, Power Rangers and stuff.
It's almost
yeah,
like they've been working on the grid for like a few months now.
Avery's had her like mask situation open up, and she doesn't care about concealing her identity.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
Fenrir ejects his drive from his arm, and as the suit disappears, you see a tank top, and then you actually see the other arm. His left arm is actually much different from the rest of his body at that point.
Yeah, it's fully metal, but a kind of I think if this sounds cool with you, a kind of almost liquid metal in some ways. Like it's metallic and solid, but then it kind of moves and shifts in ways that a traditional like prosthetic wouldn't be able to. Like it fully turned into a chainsaw, and part of that was the energy of the morphing grid, but also this thing is just incredibly like it's almost like it's built out of nanobots, kind of, that can just move and reshape itself as needed to some extent.
Goes down, picks up his jacket at that point.
Yeah. Okay, this is all cool. But then Gabriel is gonna move to Adira, closer to the console. Adira, can you promise me something?
Possibly.
If you're gonna raise the city, the whole city, can you give a like a minute warning before you do it, so that you don't risk hurting people?
Very in a panic for that matter.
I informed you of the initiation of Stage 2 defense protocols.
You didn't inform us of what it was?
Well,
Apologies. I neglected to reason that you did not have the instructions and operations manual for this city. You are new here, are you not?
12,000 years.
Yes, my original users, the original inhabitants of this city, would have understood what Stage 2 defense protocols means. In addition, due to presence of unknown and due to presence of non-indigenous life forms in the city, recall protocols have been activated as well as part of the secondary stage defensive protocols.
When
Thank
you
for
say
your cooperation.
Adira, Mariana steps up and like also shifts back her visor so you can see her face. When you say recall, what does that imply? Where is this recall secondary location?
The city is returning home, and that's probably. I feel like that's a decent enough cliffhanger for a break.
Yeah.
If you're up for that, so
Yep.
we can take a break, and we'll be back in like 10 to 15 minutes.
okay.
Yeah, see you then. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Are we? Oh, right. Hello, we are back with more Power Rangers Solar City. I am Ben, the GM. Sorry. Yeah, and we're back with more Power Rangers Solar City, where we left off. We had just beaten, our heroes had just turned into Power Rangers for the first time, unlocked the powers of the Morphing Grid, and defeated the evil Draculord and his Shaderon minions. Draculord has fled, and now Adira, their artificial intelligence ally who helped them gain their powers, has activated the Solar City's second level of defense protocols, seemingly some sort of recall program. And the city begins to shake and rumble and take off into the sky. The last thing we heard was Mariana, whose player is no longer isn't going to be here for the rest of the stream because she had other things to take care of, important things to do, which is perfectly fine and understandable and good. And she asked what the recall program was doing, and all Adira said was that it was taking them home. So we pick up there. Who's doing what?
Immediately Avery says, Kara, do you know what that means?
Well, home would presumably be wherever the city was built.
I mean, 1,000 years old, you would know, right?
Memory is spotty, as I mentioned. Besides, I haven't been around. The city's been traveling quite a while, and I haven't been there the whole time.
And then
I mean, I've been here for the full 12,000 years since it sank to the bottom of the ocean, but up until then, I haven't been here for the whole lifespan of the city, because this city is old. It's very old.
so Avery's just gonna it's gonna look at Kara and she's just gonna say, Ranger mode deactivate. She doesn't know how to undo the thing that she did earlier, so she's just going on instinct.
Yeah, deactivating. Your energy dispels from you, and you turn back to your normal self, and the little USB drive kind of pops back up out of the top of Gargaradon. Yes. Oh, if it's nice and easy, you can just say power down. That's usually a bit snappier. I find people like that.
Yeah.
No, okay. That's a good.
No
That's a
shade
good
or
tip.
anything, but
That's a good tip, actually.
how we did things back in my day.
And then she'll ask Adira, Adira, do you know how to help Karkaradon get their memories back?
No. Karkaradon's data is corrupted. My own memories of Karkaradon are similarly corrupted. I am a new I was only recently initialized, and the city's databanks were heavily damaged in the incident that led to its destruction. And it's positioned at the bottom of the sea where you found it. I have limited information. I have no information about the incidents that led up to that.
So it's going to come up. So it's going to come up, and it's going to be in plain sight of everyone. isn't it?
Yes. Plain sight is... Well, it will appear in plain sight for those with the ability to see it. The city has a rudimentary cloaking shield. It is currently operating. However, I am experiencing unprecedented feedback in these systems.
It's going to be a long-term project to get that up to spec.
Indeed, it may not last more than an hour from now. However, she says, as the city rumbles and takes off into the sky, that should be more than enough time to begin the journey.
Are we sure that the shields are enough for the journey?
The shields will hold. They are... At present, the shield is not fully calibrated to repel intruders, and hence the presence of intruders in this city, but they will manage to maintain the city's stability, as well
Okay.
as its atmosphere
Okay.
and
Second
other qualities.
thing. I know you have just recently initiated. So do you realize that you're basically enacting mass kidnapping?
I do not have... My
Oh.
programming does not encapsulate such... My programming does not include moral guidelines. I am an assistant tool only.
You don't have. Oh my. We're going to have to change that.
I
No,
do
no,
not see the need for it. Morality is provided by the operators.
Are you are you
The
saying you?
spectrum and the morphing grid will not link with anyone who is not of sufficient virtue. At least
Are,
this is the understanding my creators have programmed me with.
are you trying? Are you saying that you're going to try to program a conscience into this AI?
I mean,
That would not be wise. It's maybe more difficult than you think, and an
not me,
inelegant
I would
allocation
have-
of resources.
I mean, I'm not saying that I would do because I'm not the expert. I will get the expert to do it because you don't mention what things are about to do and then says that morality is up to the user. How would you have been able to make the moral choice if you don't inform us of what is about to happen?
Cataloging information for future use.
I guess that's as good as it's going to get. Should we report back to the commander then?
During
Avery
this,
says, Avery says, yeah, that's what we're supposed to do, right?
Yes, please do report back to me. Thank you. I'd like to see you all in the central command spire.
during most of this conversation, Fenrir's been on his communicated texting to his friend.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Did you make it to a storm shelter?
Yep, I'm in the Spire's storm shelter will be the text response you get.
And then I just respond.
I'm all safe. Once
and
this is all over, let me know if you want to grab a drink or you need
I
a chat.
I want meet me outside your storm shelter. I'll be there in a few moments.
Okay, you sure you don't want to? The commander sounded like she wanted to see you, but I can probably persuade her to give it a few minutes if you want to chat first.
It's
Commander first, and I hate to be the one to say it because you know how much I loathe rules and stuff, but
Okay.
This is more important than anything else, I think.
Are you going? Oh,
Don't worry,
I just
I'll still be here when you're done.
I just looked down at my just afterwards. I just respond back afterwards, and then.
Yep.
Adira, you mentioned something about teleportation system. Is that online? Is that usable at all?
Not. I am unable to access teleport's transit system at present, though I am picking up. Teleport system is active, but I have no control over it at present. Apologies. There
Shame.
seems to be a glitch in the system.
Is there any sort of
You will have to
manual?
walk,
We'll have to walk. Okay.
or drive, or ride. There are many means of traversal.
We know that, but it's going to be an awfully long. That's going to be an awfully long.
Sorry,
walk.
Avery. Sorry, go ahead.
I was. It was suggested to me that I should provide more information to you,
Well,
even when not specifically asked for.
yeah,
That's
Adira,
why
is
I
there-
said
is there-
you could walk, or ride, or drive. or
Adira, is
take
there
a bike.
vehicles in the spire that have gone dormant?
There are. There are. Yes. So what she'll, as she says, like accessing, a bank of, like I guess, by one of the wall consoles, one of the probably the only wall there that is free of consoles. A hatch kind of slides up, or 6 hatches slide up, and out of 5 of them roll like actually, well, no, only out of 3. Well, actually, no, out of 4 of them, because Mariana's also there, but Morrow isn't. Will roll coloured bikes as like little. They don't appear to have any weapons or any kind of advanced systems, but you've got some transit bikes that seem to each be coloured according to your spectrum things. They may need some work to restore full functionality, but
Are they right?
for,
Are they right?
for transit purposes, they should be acceptable.
I go to my color and I put my drive in there, see if it gets it started.
Yeah, actually, the drive will operate. Like you have to turn it like a key, but yeah, it works.
It's good. It's good enough. At least we won't have to take the long walk at that point.
yeah, excellent job, Adira. See, you're learning.
Thank you.
We
I
better
am.
get going.
Yeah, and we also maybe we also have to figure out about Murrow.
Yeah, if you manage to extract Morrow from wherever he is, don't you-
Morrow's signal has been located. Error.
Yeah.
Morrow's signal has been located. Morrow is in 2 places at once.
2 places.
Correct. On the main west and east landing pads, Morrow's signal appears at both.
We'll have to solve that later. Again, that'll be another thing that we'll have to look at later.
His vital signs are all stable. There is no immediate danger at present.
Well, that's something we'll have to look at later.
Fascinating.
It
I guess.
appears that this was the unauthorized use of the teleport function that I mentioned earlier. Though I am now. Scans indicate additional uses of teleportation function of currently unknown origin.
Was the usage of the teleportation system made from within the city?
Yes, point-to-point transit within the city.
Can you identify where the access to the system was localized?
It will take time.
Then that's fine.
My
Yeah.
systems are suffering issues at present.
That's
Most
fine. We'll
likely
work.
residual damage.
We'll work on that later.
Yes.
It is possible that these teleport detections I have are failings of my sensor system and not actual teleportations. But I cannot be sure until further scans have been made. Anyway, you should be on your way. And you all ride on your bikes and you leave.
Yeah.
Avery probably
So-
had her skateboard and just like dropped it in the actual spire when they got here because she was probably traveling on her skateboard.
Hmm.
So she's on her skateboard with Carrot on.
Yeah, okay. Yes, you skate back, the rest of you bike back. The city itself is kind of, despite the fact that the city is, actually the city seems to have, it stopped rumbling and shaking so much now. And why kind of becomes more obvious when you step out of the room you're in and you're able to step out into the main city and gaze up into the sky, which is filled with stars, even though it's the middle of the day. You can, you can see kind of Earth's atmosphere, basically. Not the Earth itself because of the angle that you're at, but you can see kind of the glint of it, and part of the Earth up just by looking over the edge of the city. You're in space and you're able to breathe. The city seems to be successfully maintaining its air and its integrity. It hasn't fallen apart yet, and it's even stopped shaking, so that's probably a good sign. So,
Okay,
cuts
so
to the command spire. Commander Thorpe.
Yeah. I have a question. The command spire also has like the labs and stuff, right? Where Avery would be doing research work. I'm just trying to situate that.
It would have some. It has like some small labs, but actually the main labs are kind of slightly to the north of the central command spire.
Okay.
And they're in a larger building complex.
Okay. I was just curious. Okay.
Yeah. But there are lab facilities there, and you probably would have used them at some point. Or at least you would have been in them at some point. You would have been present near them when they were being used at some point. So, the doors will open up. The commander will see you ride and skate in. There's a little entranceway, kind of entrance chamber to this thing where you can leave the bikes. And then the second set of doors open into the large central circular room with like a large hologram map of the city in the center on a grand table around which a number of people are like leaning over and pointing at things. There's a few people on consoles like with headsets on and one with his finger in his ear like going, yes, blah, 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 reading data, and various people talking about things and doing military kind of jargon science stuff. And Commander Thorpe is there, and blonde woman, fairly middle ages, looks at you and goes, "Finally, will someone tell me what's going on? We're in space now, apparently."
Commander, this was partially of my doing. We went to go check. Me and Murrow went to go check in on the good doctor, like you said. When we found a way in, we ended up more or less finding We ended up in an area that was about to have its defenses activate. Let's start by saying this: the systems that you have been developing has worked.
I'm glad to hear it. I trust you enjoyed Dr. Evans' designs.
Yes, but as the thing, the signal has also awakened sort of an AI within the city itself.
Yes, this Adira creature. I've had my people looking into it. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to access much of the database. We've got references to something similar. It didn't go by that name, but some kind of Ranger defense protocol. And we've also found reference to this recall protocol that seems to be linked. Some kind of emergency beacon to send it back to its original planet, wherever that might be.
Okay, so we're going to space. That's great. And then Avery will pull out Kirkadon from, like, I guess where she has him holstered. I also found this in the ruins around the Blue Spire.
That is unusual. I'll need Dr. Evans to go take a look at that later on.
It's
Wait, you
a
found
piece-
that near the Blue Spire? That's... I mean, it
piece
looks
of-
like Ranger tech. It helped you morph, right?
It's a piece of ancient tech, is what it is. It did
But
help me
we didn't
morph.
develop it. We didn't
No.
give it any kind of connection to the morphing grid. It had that all on its own.
I just wanted to let you know that this exists. It's
Yes, thank you. You've had this for how long now?
hold on a sec. Hold on.
It's been a week. I think you told me.
It's been a week, of course.
Just for a couple of days.
And you only mentioned this now? You didn't see this as... You didn't see this discovery of an ancient piece of technology as being worth mentioning to the hundreds of people we have here specialized in dealing with exactly that kind of thing?
I mean, she did bring it to the lab, and we did take a look at
I
it.
brought it to the lab yesterday.
Why wasn't...
For
Why didn't... Well, I guess I must have lost the report in the chaos of everything that happened then.
I mean,
we
took
didn't
a
have
look at it
time.
exactly at the time of the reports and chaos.
We didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't have time to report on it. We barely had time to study it. I showed it to Gabriel yesterday. Wait, no, it's the same day. I showed it to him earlier today.
Earlier today, yes. Yeah, correct. That's not the same day. Jesus, this day.
It's been a
Sorry,
long
time-
day.
It's been a long day.
Is it evening time? I don't even know what time is.
It's... Yeah, probably afternoon. I guess by the time you're back, it's closer to evening.
Like late afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, you're muted.
I showed it to Gabriel this morning. I literally just found him yesterday.
I mean, the point is that
Make a deception roll. I think that's going to be appropriate.
Does she get an assist from Gabriel?
Yes, you absolutely can, which would give edge.
Edge, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
22.
Gabriel's corroborating the lie.
Yeah, that she got an 8, so she
I-
pauses like.
Oh, also,
And when you say yesterday that second time, she looks like she's like, aha, like she's about to
rolled-
catch you out. You
I
got
rolled
a 4.
a 4
That's a
on my
crit
D4.
as well. So do you get no, you don't get a story point from crits, do you?
No,
It's
you get them
natural
from
fumbles.
natural ones.
Yeah.
Commander, the point is that we're going to be on for a long journey, and while there is a cloaking system that allows us to not be fended off by these attackers, and I probably have an idea of what these are. It's going to require some work to be done. Now there is a cloaking system, but it's going to, as I
We're
said,
going to need repairs. Is that what you're saying?
many. It's going to need repairs that this team is not going to be able to do on their own.
No, we're going to need to start allocating some serious resources towards that. I mean, we're going to need to start allocating resources towards a lot of things. Right now, this base's mission has gone from one of exploration to one of survival. We can no longer rely on outside assistance and support. We've got, from what we've been able to, I mean, our limited tests have indicated the city is capable of manufacturing its own food and air supplies. We should be all good on that front, but if things start falling apart and we're not able to repair them, we may start to run into some problems. So I'm going to have to start assigning teams to lots of things.
Commander, a request. Since the Ranger program is able to work, this group right here, I would say, needs to be able to operate it independently and off the books.
Independently, I agree with. Off the books, I'm less concerned with, but I will grant you, I will want reports. I want to know what is going on and what you are doing, but I grant you full autonomy to act in defense of this city and the Atlantis Initiative and the people within this city, however you deem appropriate. You have full autonomy and you may act as you wish, but I do want to see reports, and I don't want you all slacking off and sneaking off and not doing any work.
Do you need
I
a
want you
public
to still continue to perform your normal duties
do you
as
need
much as you're able.
do you need a public facing figure for this team?
If you need, I mean, Fenrir, you would make an appropriate leader. If you believe there's someone who would make a better fit as a public figure, I will take suggestions. But
I'm willing to sound that bit. I'm willing to sound that bit of needles and talk to public if need be.
very well, I'll put you in
If
charge of. I can put
The-
you in charge of briefing, or unless there's another suggestion.
I'm just
The-
saying, if you're going to be talking to people, you might want to be a little less rough around the edges. It's
just as long as this, I will be willing to reveal my identity, but the other four have their right to choose when they want to, if they wish to reveal what they are.
I see your point. This will need further. I will need to take time to think on this. At the moment, you are correct. Actually, only me, Dr. Evans, and certain command staff know of your identities as Rangers. It may be preferable to keep it a secret. It may be preferable to inform the entire city. May be preferable to not tell everyone, but just leave it as something we don't really worry about. I'll have to think over that. For now,
I
operate
think
as you see fit.
I think that, and she kind of sighs and she says, I think we need to worry about doing our jobs in terms of addressing the public or whatever needs to be done. I think that the commander should be the one to speak on those topics in regards to general public knowledge.
I'll put together a team and we'll discuss it. I'll make sure you're there, but right now we have bigger concerns. I mean, we have let's round up everything that we're worried about. We've got alien threats to this city. Currently within the city still, I believe.
Correct.
We've got
We're not
shields
entirely sure.
on. We've got. I think our shields are all right, but we need a cloaking device online to protect us from any more enemies detecting us. Our shields, while capable of holding in air and providing some rudimentary protection, failed to keep out the original invaders, and it's likely they'll fail to keep out whatever else is coming. So that needs solving. And there were 5 of you, I believe. Where's Morrow?
That is a long story that I don't think you would want to get into it.
The short answer is the AI we were addressing and dealing with mentioned scanning for Murrow signal and that they were in 2 places at once. I think it's a malfunction, but I'm not really the tech person, so I don't know. So Murrow is somewhere, but we don't know where.
I mean, our systems have been malfunctioning basically since we got out here, since we took off. Looks like I'm not a science person. I'd assume just the city can't handle all the extra energy. I mean, it's been a day. I decided to have a nice cup of coffee from the coffee machine that we installed here. And I ordered a cappuccino, and you know what I got? I got a pumpkin spice latte in the spring. I don't
So
know why. I don't know how. I didn't even know we had pumpkin spices in the machine. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Everything's just, we've got glitches all over the place. System's a
so
mess.
so it's a good news, bad news situation. So we don't know where Murrow is, but they're fine. No injuries, like nothing bad happened to them. They're just
I mean,
somewhere we don't know
sure
where.
you can believe the readings, because if everything is glitching, maybe even the signs are all right. Signals are also jumbled. We can't know for sure.
Okay, fine. Well, thanks for the reality check, I guess. So where do we
Gabriel isn't wrong. We can't trust the systems that we're getting at the moment. For all we know, Maro could be in neither of those 2 locations.
so what do
If we could borrow the doctor, it would make things a lot easier for all of us.
Yes, I think that I can. At the moment, he's. Well, with the city now immediate danger, presumably being at least being over for now, he's making his way back with Checkpoint Charlie and a couple of security officers back here. So you should be able to talk with him in person in a few minutes. But it looks like our first priority is we need to find Morrow. I mean, I'll let you discuss the details with Dr. Evans in a minute, but whatever you can do to find him, we best. I need to have further discussion with Mariana, our new recruit. We have, of all the people I would have expected to be a part of this Ranger program, someone who arrived in this city this very day was not someone I was expecting. And she'll go talk with Mariana. If you're all done with the briefing, I trust the 3 of you can handle things on your own from here. With Dr.
kind
Heavens'
of
help if you need it.
Avery kind of nods in like a very formal way, but I think she lingers while everybody else heads out to the briefing with Dr. Evans, and she says, "Hey, can I talk to you for a sec, Mom?"
Of course. Mariana, if you would just wait outside.
I'm lingering outside still. So
Yeah,
the door
you're
the door closes on this private conversation, and um Mom, I understand that resources are tight and that we really need to concentrate on fixing the really big problems. And she puts Carcharodon down on the table. She says, I think he's alive. He's got some sort of sentience. He has
you
memories.
think I'm alive? Says Cargaradon. Oh wow, we've got real whiz kid here. Yeah, hi, I'm Cargaradon. I'm alive. With a heavily implied inverted commas and quotation marks.
Listen, I was just trying to ease the commander in, okay?
Well,
Anyway,
consider me eased in. You've got a talking hammer. Wonderful. This day can't get any better.
this is I didn't want you to freak out, okay? Maybe I should have told you yesterday when I found him, but he's here now and he has a few memory issues. I just wanted to give you the heads up on that. But also like I'm I'm worried that you'll take him away.
I don't think I. Thank you for the heads up. It's true Dr. Evans should probably have a closer inspection of it. I don't think it's my place to take Carcharodon away from you right now. I don't think he'd let me even if I wanted to. And I was like, yeah, you're damn right. I
Okay.
like this one. I'm good where I am, thank you very much. And Commander say, besides the power that you possess with that hammer, you're a real asset to the team. And this city will need people like you to defend it.
The key thing about Avery's personality that comes out is that she's very much about like instinct and heart, and she goes, I don't know much about being a Power Ranger or saving the world or anything like that, but I want to help Carcharodon get his memories back.
It's a good start. It's a place to start. Any
If-
idea how we can get his memories back?
So I know that we're concerned with shields and cloaking and all of those protective devices, but I think that there would be value in getting the database fixed. That's a wellspring of information that we can access to help us, and it may have information that could help Carcharodon gain memories back.
That's a good plan. I mean, we'll need the database if we're going to probably for most of these repairs. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's much we can do to restore it. So you're welcome to try. And I imagine with Dr. Evans's help, you might be able to do a decent job.
I mean, I have some.
If you've got some leads, you can pursue them. I
Got
have
programming and database knowledge. It's nothing substantial, so I don't know if there's any specialists on board. If I could get even one person to help me try to sort this out.
talk
At
to
least,
Dr. Evans, see what he can get you. I'll put his. If he wants to help you, you can have his help. You need help from the rest of your team, I guess you are now. Any of the other Rangers wants to help you, please do accept their help and take their help. And I will give them orders to help you if they need me to.
okay. I really am trying, Mom. This is
Yeah,
Really
I
weird.
know it's hard.
I didn't
Trust me,
expect we'd end up here.
Yeah, neither did I. But here's where we are, and you've got to make do with what you've got.
Is there any way you
It'll be
could
okay.
maybe?
We'll get
Is
through
there any
this.
way maybe you could order Fenrir to stop being so uptight?
I've tried many times. I'll see what I can do. I'll pull a few extra strings. Maybe
really
have a
needs-
talk with Scott, his friends
He
of his.
really needs to relax a little. I think he would be a better leader if he wasn't so uptight all the time. I might actually respond better to his leadership if he wasn't so uptight all the time.
I'll bear that in mind.
Anyway, thanks, Mom. And she gives her mom a hug, and she picks up her carrot on.
She hugs back, etc.
Hmm. I guess I gotta go to that other briefing. Gosh, so much of this is meetings and labs. Ugh.
Welcome to adult life. She
I
says.
hate
and-
it. She walks.
Right,
she walks
where's
out
that
the door.
report? She yells at someone as she wanders off.
She closes the door and just walks.
Hang on a minute, Mariana, get in here. I need that report and tell me what's going on. And Mariana will go in, and that will resolve itself. The three of you are now doing your own thing.
Yeah, and she'll just like do the skateboarding thing, but she's not speeding ahead. She's like skateboarding alongside the rest of her teammates, and she doesn't say anything. She's just quiet.
So
I guess, yeah.
we're back as a group then.
Yeah, I mean, we were waiting for you, Avery, so you could at least show a little bit of gratitude.
Let's go. Everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we go to the meeting
doctor is
with
waiting for us.
with
And
Dr.
that
Evans.
in that
The
moment,
doctor will see you now.
The doctor will see.
in that moment, though, Fenrir just looks like, well, I got something I need to take care of. I'll just let me know what has happened later,
All
okay?
right.
You're not gonna sit in on this?
Not in this case. I think you two have got it.
Okay.
Sure, we are the more.
Just
We
let
do
me-
work in this department technically.
You technically, I definitely work here. Thank you very much.
Okay, technically I do too. Gabriel knows. Gabriel knows.
You
his-
both technically
his-
and actually, or Gabriel both technically and actually.
and
works there.
actually.
Yeah, no, we got it, Fenrir. Yeah, sir. Captain.
Fenrir for now.
Okay, right.
And Fenrir will
You
wander
two.
off.
I
Oh,
will say this: you two are the four of you are going to need some serious work, though. And he
Yep.
just leaves after that.
Don't worry, we expected it. We are not actually. I mean, worries, but yeah, not actually. Apart from that, then yeah. Right.
As I think you're probably saying that, and Fenrir's already wandering off.
Yeah, I'm
Avery-
doing his own things, and the two of you will go and head over to.
Avery just kind of rolls her eyes in response. You know that like kind of defiance, like that energy of like, okay, whatever.
You're not my real mom.
I mean,
Okay.
his
I deal with my actual mom. I only answer to my mom.
Gabriel's just gonna be like, come on, he's not actually wrong. It's not like me, you, and Mariana are actually, capable fighters and whatnot. You need work in that.
She looks at Gabriel and she says, "Yeah, okay. I'm not going to tell him that to his face. I'm not going to tell him he's right to his face. But also, I have this, and she's holding Carcharodon up. You think I'm going to take the credit for being a badass? He did it.
Yeah, I'll
And
take
she
all the
points at
credit.
the hammer.
Sure.
Never been one to say no to credit. No, I love me some credit. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, sorry. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, love me some
You okay?
credit. Yeah.
Uh,
No, I'm fine. I think. Sorry, I've got not quite a headache. Just a little shiver, I guess. You know that there's a human expression, like the feeling that someone's just walked over your grave. It's
Oh,
kind of like that, or it might be a concussion. It's one of the two.
yeah.
I have been hitting a lot of things with my head recently, but
Seeing
I'm
as
quite sturdy.
you are a hammer, and then you most likely don't actually can feel concussions.
Well, I'm not a doctor, so I don't really know how that
Listen,
part
Well,
works.
I am a doctor. I'm saying that you can't feel concussions.
Oh, well,
you're a
fair enough.
machine.
Guess it must be someone walking over my grave then, or a glitch in the system.
Both are terrifying.
All right, we're gonna speak to another doctor and see how that to see what's up with that. I have a question.
Cut to no Cockhaveron. You definitely cannot get headaches. You cannot get concussions. That's you're a hammer.
I have
Concussions rely on is this blah 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 blah.
You're
I
not
have a
real,
question.
you are just a toy.
Is this I would probably have asked Carcharodon, have you felt like this before? Like earlier today when Gabriel was doing stuff.
No,
Or when we were in
no.
the lab.
This is new. I haven't had this. I guess it feels kind of familiar, but also not. Definitely not something in the last 12,000 years. Weird.
Okay. I will hand Carcharodon over to Dr. Evans and say the commander has suggested that you take a look at this.
And also help us with everything else. No pressure.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, isn't there?
I mean, I heard that the coffee machine is making pumpkin spice latte. Disgusting.
Again? Oh, I thought I solved that issue last week.
Wait,
All right.
that's no
Oh,
pitch.
Okay, so we have multiple fires to put out, right,
Yeah,
Gabriel?
the coffee is not the most important one, even if the commander is annoyed.
yeah. Okay, we'll put the
Um,
coffee in the back burner then. What are the important things? Taking a look
Shield.
at this hammer.
No, shields.
Shield,
I mean, database.
shields,
Also shields.
shields, cloaking, database, and number 4 is the hammer. Well,
I mean, database should be first, right? Because if we are going to get as much
But-
information as we can to fit the others.
yes, but aren't the shields and the cloaking just temporary for like today, an
I mean,
hour, I think it was.
The cloaking device has probably already failed by this point. So you're no longer hidden, but you were hidden long enough to get off the planet's surface, and now you're in orbit and you're probably not hidden anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we're
The
in.
shields will continue to function for basically indefinitely, unless they take any kind of severe damage, or any kind of damage really, in which case they probably won't.
So not exactly a massive issue, but making sure that we have the capability for. No, the word went away. I don't have it anymore. Cloaking. that we have cloaking is nice, I guess. In case we gotta. Oh yeah, and also somehow the attackers were able to come through the shields. So we
Yes, I've got a theory on that. I think it's that. I mean, basically, the shields aren't. When not at full power, the shields don't actually block certain types of matter coming through. They work primarily against smaller particulate matter and energy. So they'll stop air going in or out, and they'll keep that secure. They'll keep all kinds of matter inside, but larger things like a ship, say, are a lot harder to stop and will be able to pass through. Focus on keeping things out on a much more micro scale. With more power and with some refinements, we can absolutely get it actually blocking ships and weapons and things like that. But again, I don't know how long that will take.
Right. I guess then. I mean, if the database isn't as badly shaped as it looks to be, that it could be a starting point.
And the database is also not. I mean, we've got all kinds of things from the database, but again, it's mismatched. It's in pieces. Best bet is exploring more of the city, I guess, and finding another access link because we found backups.
Okay.
Right, there's the database isn't just a one thing. Yes, it's connected throughout the city,
Yes.
but they have backup and reserve servers storing this kind of thing. So that's how we've been able to gather some of this information so far. Each of the individual servers we've found have only been able to recover tiny amounts of data, but multiple ones have been heavily damaged, but they've lost different pieces of data. And so they've preserved different pieces of data so we can learn different things. If we can find more, then we can probably learn more.
Avery is thinking really hard because she's handed off Carcharodon to Dr. Evans to look at. She says, so if we go by that theory, we can then extract information from these damaged servers. I guess what I'm wondering is if you could extract information from Carcharodon with his consent, of course, to help. Because his recall doesn't seem to be really good when I ask him. But maybe if we ask for his permission to tap into the memories he does have, maybe that'll help.
I mean, I'm willing to give it a shot, says Carcharodon. I'm not usually a fan of having I haven't had my brain poked around in for 12,000 years, so it'll be worth giving another try, I guess. I don't know if you'll find much though, but I guess you'll have something. Yeah, give it a shot.
Okay. I don't know how long it'll take for the process, but I will say if Carcharodon's cool with it, then maybe this is a good starting point. It's a small project, and I don't think it would take that much time. And then maybe we can extract some information that might help.
Initiating a proper kind of download link would take to be able to access the data with any kind of accuracy and to know that we weren't missing anything, it would take hours, maybe a full 24-hour period for a proper analysis. And at the moment, there's still enemies in the city, and I think the hammer is going to be more useful as a hammer than as a database for now. Plus, my reports say Morrow's still missing.
We're probably
Yeah,
gonna have
we
to.
are gonna need help locating them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
The briefing
systems
got
are
sent
getting
says is in 2 different locations, by the west and the east landing pads.
Yeah. The Adira also gave us similar data. They said that apparently the transportation system was used, but they weren't sure.
Okay, that's yeah. The teleportation system could explain it, but I doubt they're in. Do you want to actually? Yeah, Gabriel. Do you want to make a tech? I think he'll help you look at this data and
Yeah.
stuff, and he thinks he might be able to refine it and narrow it down and
Okay.
take some things out.
Can I
He'll
do
give
an-
you help on the roll,
Oh,
so you can
was
do a
gonna say,
technology thing with Edge. You won't
Yeah.
get your specialization. but-
Okay, I was gonna say if I
Uh,
could lend assistance, but I guess you don't need it.
Yeah. Does it
I mean,
not?
do you have
does
technology as a skill?
I do. I have a D2 on it.
Alright, in which case I think any extra assistance beyond the first gives an upshift.
Yeah.
So you can have an upshift as
Okay. Yeah, and does my morphing breed expertise apply?
well. I'm gonna say no.
Okay, that's fair.
It's not a morphing grid thing?
No, I mean, yes, in that the entire city is connected through the morphing grid, but I can't just let you have that on every role to do with technology inside the city.
No, that's fair.
I feel like I shouldn't, and this is the one where I've got the biggest excuse for not giving it to you.
Yep, you're correct. And I get an upshift, right?
Yep.
And
Edge.
difficulty?
Let's see. I've got a. Oh no, I don't need to roll something. Difficulty 15.
19.
Yeah, I haven't 19.
Oh wow, that's a beautiful one at my skill die.
Yeah. There's a 17 and an 18 for the 2d20s. Anyway, yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Giger's
okay. You're able to narrow it down somewhat. You can safely say that tracking energy readings previously and kind of because the system's glitching and your map is glitching and it's showing him appearing in a couple other locations as well briefly. But actually, it looks like that is just kind of just the screen flickering and data glitching. That's not him moving. That's a problem with the computer you've got. You can narrow it down and definitely say he is in one of those two locations and only one. So he's not actually in two places at once.
Okay.
It's just that wherever he is, there's some kind of glitch in the system, virus in the system that means an identical signal is coming from the other side of the city.
From my analysis, can I tell if like someone is giving a false signal, or is it too murky to tell? One of them is like a false signal, if it's just a glitch.
Yes, it doesn't seem to be a deliberately false signal.
Yeah. Okay.
It just it feels like just a glitch.
Okay,
Or
but
like an irritatingly specific and annoying one.
Yeah. Okay, but can I tell which one of them, or just that one of them is right and the other one is?
No, just that one of them is right
Okay.
and the other one's
Yeah.
not.
We could split up. One goes to, and each one of us goes to one of the landing pads to look for more. I can't narrow it down more than one of them, and not both. Avery?
Yeah. I mean, do we split up? Is that what we're doing?
I mean, we could if I mean, I really think that getting Burrow back is priority.
Are we gonna be okay just like
two of us?
alone? Well, no,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
I understand, but we can inform Fenrir
Yeah.
of what we are planning to do.
okay, I
yeah,
just
you
get
are Power Rangers, so
Yeah.
you should be able to give. Plus, I'm sure I can get the commander to get to give Mariana leave to go with you.
I'm just
And with
concerned.
Fenrir as well, that's 2 a team.
Yeah, but I'm just concerned about potential teleportation, transportation glitches through the city. You know, if an emergency comes up, and
And, um,
that's fine though.
does
I-
it look like the system is operational? The teleportation?
It's intermittently operational. Well, actually, no, it is fully operational. Like it can be accessed. It's just that whatever means you could use that would be the official means, it locks you out automatically, and it doesn't not through kind of official means. It's a glitch. It's just going wrong, and it should be letting you in, but it's not. But the transport network does appear to be active. And it's actually not all that erratic. Weirdly, there's occasional like spikes in it where it appears to kind of shut down at certain points briefly.
Question: Is this particular problem affecting other merfolk like Muro? Because
No, none of the other
it's not
merfolk
like a
reported anything.
okay, so it's not like the physiology is reacting to the system weird or anything.
No, not as far as you can tell. It appears to have literally been just Moa. No one else is reporting any instances of disappearances.
Maybe there was a spike in the teleportation system around the time that Moro was trying to morph. Maybe that could have, I don't know, a weird stuff happening between the morphing grid and the teleportation system.
How do you like your chances of finding Muro without anything going wrong? Because we could just split up and then stay in keep in communication, have
Um,
comms open.
I think that we should go looking for Moro, even if we can't get assistance from the others.
Okay, so do you want to just cover both locations at the same time? Or do we want to go one each together?
No, I think it's okay if we go one each.
Okay.
I
I'm
mean,
I'm cool if you're cool.
I think I might throw a wrench in the thing somewhat because you made a very good technology roll. What I'll also say is that we kind of noticed something further, that you've got these 2 signals where Morrow is, and also the teleportation network is kind of glitching around those 2 points in specific. It's also glitching around a third point that doesn't really seem to have any kind of significance to it. It's somewhere off just southwest of the central spire. Actually, it would be close to the gold spire, but like a large, sort of deep under the ground, the lower levels of the city. Not beneath the gold spire, but nearby in that quadrant.
Okay. Yeah, Gabriel does a quick double take at the information he's deciphering. Like, there's also this. Actually, there are three main points where the glitch seems to be occurring, which is weird because doesn't seem like
There's a
there's anything here.
There's a
But,
third point.
yeah.
So there's the 2 points where Murrow could be, and a third point.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
actually, probably again with that glitching thing, it feels like if you look at areas just in general, not just with the teleportation grid, but in general, the glitches and errors seem to be occurring more around in the areas around those 3 points.
Okay, so it's not specifically the teleportation, but the whole systems.
Yeah, because there's been glitches with everything,
Yeah.
all across the city. So while you puzzle that one out, we'll move over to Fenrir.
Mhm.
Fenrir, I assume I know where you're going, but do you want to tell me?
Yeah. So going to the same spot that Scott is at.
Okay, right. I don't think I specified where that is. I
It
know I
in the
said
text.
earlier.
Yeah.
You might have to remind me.
You said the Black Spire.
Okay, right, the Black Spire then. He'll be. Yeah, so off by the Black Spire, that area. You're probably just heading to. Is he meeting you like in his quarters, like
I told him I can meet him
around stuff,
outside
or
if
you'll
it's
meet him outside?
easier. I
Yeah,
told
then
him
you
we can meet
can.
outside.
I guess yeah, the storm shelters are opening back up again. So he'll meet you outside with out where there's like a decent view over the side of the city. And I guess yeah, he's an old, or not old, a Syrian man, probably a little older than Fenrir by a year or two. Kind of got a big old grin on his face when he sees Fenrir. Fenrir, how's it
You okay?
going?
You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. You don't have to worry about me.
How's I guess they got you busy with a lot of patients, didn't they?
Yeah, we've all been doing fine over here. Obviously, I mean, I don't tend to have my work cut out for me at the best of times, but at the worst of times. But we've been doing all right over here.
The system works.
The system
This is
works. Yeah, we've got the
not that system.
counseling. I've got my counseling offices and stuff like that all set up. Oh, you mean your system? The ranger thing you were talking about.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, well, as you know, standard confidentiality stuff. So yeah, you can chat about it you want. I mean, it's going well. What changed?
Well, had to put me back to leading the team again.
That's excellent news. Yeah, I knew you could do it. You can making some progress.
Team of all non-combatants.
I mean, that's
They're all
you. How
civilians.
do you feel about that? I mean, you've got who's in your team?
Avery.
Okay, not yeah.
The Rook.
Rookie. Oh, right, Morrow. Yeah, I mean, Morrow's not technically a Morrow security services, kind of, but I see what you mean. Yeah,
He's not on a beat, so
not one of us. Yeah,
Gabriel, the doctor's assistant.
okay.
And someone I'm not familiar with, Miss Mariana Trench.
I have to look up her file, but sounds like quite the bunch. I think you'll be fine.
No, I don't think I am. I have to be in a position to both get them ready and have to lead them. That's not a good position right now. When a new squad is starting up.
I mean, someone's got to lead them, right? Someone's got to do this job, and
But lead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, please. You need to be able to talk in stuff like this.
I am not in a
So-
position to lead and train, considering it's probably them that made the attack.
Yes. I guess the thing I'm going to ask is, how does that make you feel, right? He kind of laughs. I mean,
I'm going
yeah,
to need help. I'm going to need help.
you've got it. I mean, you've got your team, and as much as you are leading them, they're going to be there to support you as well. And you've got me. I'll
And
also be
that's what I'm actually hoping you would say. Because I do need you. I do need you to come back. Start in active service again.
I mean, I've got my own service here. I mean, like everyone needs a counselor,
it-
psychology stuff.
It's
I've got my work out for me a little bit here, but I can.
puts his hand up. It's just
I'll
here
consider
at the
it.
job position real quick. Look, I'm going to need someone to operate the base while the team goes out, and I'm going to need someone to train the four of them to get them understanding.
Training, I can help with. I'll give you that. If they need someone to talk to, they can talk to me, and I'm not as rusty as you might think, so I can help with some training. Yeah, but this is if you want me to spend full time monitoring communications or doing base stuff, that will need something to. I'll need to
Or-
work that out with someone. We can discuss it. Yeah, and I'll probably have to run that by the commander does know about all this, right? Because he knows about the Ranger project.
The commander knows about the Ranger project. Knows I have to lead. Probably have to sound a bit of needles with the public, but
Okay, well,
but
I
I can't lead and train at the same time. I can step in and help with the training from time to time, but
and
physical
I mean,
training.
to be fair, these are also new powers for you as well. You might need a little bit of training as well. I mean, there's not many people who could train you in this kind of thing, but sometimes it takes an outside perspective. I'll be happy to help however I can. I'll obviously need to run some stuff by the commander, and I'm sure she's got plans of her own.
Mhm.
But you can count on me,
Could you start?
especially with who these guys are. Yeah.
Could you start helping me train them tomorrow, very early? Because we don't know
I
how
guess
long we have.
No, we really don't. All right, I'll work on something, and it's something I have to run by the commander. But yeah, I'll be there tomorrow, bright and early. And if the commander's okay with it, we can start some training. I've got a couple of old routines that I haven't tried out in a while. Some stretches I haven't been doing much of.
We got something else too.
And I always enjoy telling people to go on a little run. don't get to do enough of that now. I mean, I get to tell people they should go on runs, but I don't get to like shout at anyone anymore.
Also,
Could
see if
use
we
a
can
little
do.
bit more of that.
Let's see if we can also get a 400-pound log, because they're going to need to learn what actually working as a team means, and what everyone pulling their own weight means. And no,
You're going to
but
need to learn how to work in a team again, because it's been a while, and I know the memories of the last time's not going to be great, but I know that things will be different this time.
we'll
You've
see
got
it.
this.
Thanks.
Not a problem.
That's it.
Again, as always, you need me, give me a call. As long as I'm not in a session, I'll be there.
You want to get that drink still?
Do I ever?
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
Look,
All right.
they haven't. Nothing's on fire yet, so we have a few minutes to
Yeah,
get that
just
drink.
make sure you've got your communicator on you. If they need help, they'll call, and I'm always happy to drink alone if I need to. So don't worry about leaving me standing with a drink in my hand.
He nods, kind of looks at him, kind of.
Yeah, it's
into
been
a
a long time, buddy.
He's grown into it. Just internally, like he's grown into a pretty fine Syrian. He just gives him once over up and down, but stop. Looks back down again.
Come on, let's get that drink. And the two of you will head off. I think what I'll do now is I'll give you. You can have an extra week to plan what you're going to do next as a group with everyone when everyone's back together. But we'll leave the story off with a bat flying through, with a little scene of a bat flying through the corridors of the Solar City. And as it comes to rest against the wall, it flaps its wings and it emerges forth into the shape of Draculord. And with these the bat wings kind of growing out into the helmet, and he, as the rest of him, spreads out, and he stretches and stretches out from his shriveled up form, and he turns to look at another figure in shadow. Well, that did not go as well as I had hoped. And the voice, a voice from a shadow figure. Yes, it really did not work out, did it? The Midnight Emperor will not be pleased. Fortunately, I can do something to change that. In fact, my work is already in progress. And the shadows that open up, and we get a reveal of this a creature with like a computer, kind of like a hard drive, or like a big bulky desktop, like actually more like a server rack of things with like a bunch of bits and pieces stuck together, wires sticking out and fraying everywhere, and like lightning sparking from its eyes. And that's where we're gonna end the session. So, yeah, I've been Ben. This has been Power Rangers Solar City. I hope you have enjoyed it. I think we're doing outros, so you can correct me if we're doing these in a different order, but I think I'm going first. So, I am on Twitter at Astronomer. I occasionally I have in the past done tabletop RPG design stuff. I've linked to that on Twitter. You can also find that on astronomer.itch.io. And yeah, anyone else? Go.
Okay, go next.
Yep. Yeah. Hi. I'm okay, and I am just glad to be able to play with these fun people. group of people. Yeah, you can. I'm around, mostly lurking in the shadows, like the Dark Lord.
God, no, please don't do that again. Okay, Talon, your outro, go.
I'm Talon at Captain Talon 447 on Twitter and Captain Talon 447 hashtag 4401 on Discord. And yeah.
Great, and I'm Anne. This is my channel where you can find all sorts of really awesome stuff happening every Friday. You know, the show, but also every other Tuesday. It's a Kids on Bikes campaign called Return to Wonderland. I'm terrible at remembering scheduling things, but that is a show that is on this channel. I don't know if they're on next week because I'm a terrible person who doesn't keep track of schedules. But yes, Tuesdays are Kids on Bike days here. And if you want to find out more about future programming plans, there is the Bard Network on Twitter. And you can find me on Twitter at my personal account, XO_GirlWonder. I do stuff with Girls Run These Worlds. I am their community ambassador. Check out Girls Run Worlds on Twitter if you want to know more about all of the awesome programming there. We are going to raid, so just hang on real tight for the raid. If they are still live, we are going to go raid Resident Bard, who is a variety streamer and TTRPG editor, writer, super awesome person that I enjoy watching their streams. They are doing an IRL stream outside playing a cool TTRPG that they wrote. So we're going to go see if that's live. Otherwise, I'll just throw you guys at Weave the Tale. So we'll see where we're going. So just hang on for a couple of minutes for that. Thanks for watching, and may the power protect you.